Welcome to the Content Amplification Podcast, where you will gain insight into real-life tactical and strategic elements to help you scale and grow your business. Now, let's get started with today's episode.
Hi, and welcome to this episode of the Content Amplification Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Wynot, and today we're going to be talking about something a bit different. We haven't really talked about this in a previous episode, and the topic is doing things consistently. Now, that may be something that you think, you know what, that's common sense. We have to consistently do things. But really in the sense of when you're creating content, when you're creating experience for your clients, your customers, whatever that looks like, whether it's online, in a brick and mortar business, as an off-location service, you always are striving to become better at what it is that you're doing and what it is that you're offering. So we have this tendency to watch and listen to different marketing and be told that we need to be always upping our game, taking it to the next level. And this can sometimes backfire for you. And what do I mean by that? What I mean is that if you are going out to always try to take every situation and take it to the next level, go as high as you possibly can. And if you do that, the problem is if you don't keep that level of upping your game once you hit that higher mark or that higher plateau, consistent to the next client, or even to the next time you work with that client, it's not a positive experience. So if you are having a business or you're creating a business where you say, okay, when somebody comes to our business and they're a new customer, new client, we are going to send them this welcome package, okay? And you go ahead and you have a new client come in, and when they come in, you go and you go buy these things and you put it in a package and you send it out. Now, that's great. Now, another client comes in and, things are busy and you haven't really, had the time to go do it. So maybe you send something out, but it doesn't include all those great things. Or you've got a different team member who is getting that client coming in and they don't send out the information the way that you would, or with the care and attention to detail that you would. You're not consistent. It doesn't matter that you had the best intention to take it to the next level and up that game and give that higher experience. If you're not doing it repeatedly, then you are falling short. It is not a positive experience. It is a one-off experience, which we all know one-off experiences aren't always the best for growing and scaling your business. So, what do? Right? That's the ultimate question. And here is, this came from a comment I posted in a Facebook group last week about that, where I was going through a local drive-through with my son in the car, and he wanted a cookie. So we were late for getting to a birthday party, and I said to them, do you have any of these cookies? And they said, no, we'd have to bake it, but don't worry, they only take 2 minutes to bake. So I know that they're not always on time. So anyway, just out of an experiment, I hit the stopwatch on my phone, not to be a pain in the butt. Of course, I didn't tell them any of that stuff, but I just wanted to see how long it would actually take, right? And it took actually over 5 minutes for them to actually bring out that cookie to us. It doesn't matter. I don't care about how long it took that cookie, but the fact that they had told me it takes 2 minutes and it never took 2 minutes was a false experience. Now, I know exactly the amount of time that it took, and you know as well as I do that if I wasn't timing that, then depending on the urgency of where I wanted to go, that 5 minutes might have felt like 10 minutes. Or for some people, that 5 minutes might have felt like 2 minutes, right? It's all down to that experience of those clients that you're talking to. So, if you are going to, like somebody said in the comment, under promise, over deliver, that's fine. But your under promise still needs to be very high quality. I'm going to say that again. Your under promise still needs to be very high quality, because if that's the standard that everybody's going to get and you're going to over deliver, you need to know that gap between the under promise and the over deliver. Because the under promise is the ticketed price. That is the perceived value people see coming in. And then if you always over deliver consistently the same way every time for new clients, then that is going to be the positive experience that they have going forward. Another thing that you can do is think about how are you going to be onboarding new clients to your business. And is that in a way that you're going to be having a one-on-one call with them? Do you have an onboarding sequence that you can run through your marketing automation that will send out a couple emails, maybe some videos, task you to send out a gift, follow-up calls, all that stuff that happens when you become a new client? And a lot of times in a business that has a great sense of wanting to build that great first impression experience of new clients coming on board, is you spend a lot of time and a lot of focus on that exact element, is building that specific onboarding first touch experience. And then what happens? It tends to peter off because you're focusing on more clients over and over again, and that experience or business gets busy, right? The idea is that you need to continue that love ongoing with your clients, checking in with them, making sure that what it is they bought, the service that you had is going well. Can you enhance it? Can you help them a bit more? Think about that is, you know what, if you had a friend and you first met that friend, you're hanging out a lot, things are going great, and suddenly they stopped calling you or you didn't see them as much or they weren't checking in with you, you would think that that friend kind of sucks, right? Not the best friend around the world to have, right? And you'd go off and you look for another friend. That exact thing will happen with your clients, is if they feel that immediate love and they love that relationship, and suddenly that relationship starts to dwindle and peter off, they're going to go and look for other people that are going to show them that love, right? If you aren't giving them the attention that they expect, the attention that they deserve, they're going to go and find it somewhere else. So, coming back to the whole meaning of this and this podcast and the content here has been be consistent. What are things that you can level up in your business for experience that you can repeatedly do over and over and over again, where to you and your team becomes the standard practice of operation, but for the consumer looking in, the expectations they have on that industry, it is a higher level. Be consistent, up your game, right? Do that for a while till you're really good at it. Take the next step, up at the next level. You don't always have to go from 1 to 10. You can go from 1 to 3 for about a couple of months or 6 months or a year, and then go from like 3 to 5 and do that for a while, and then 5 to 6, right? You can just keep going up in notches, and the industry will start to see that, right? Your consumer base will start to see that experience, because if your competition isn't equally matching you, bringing that experience along, you are going to be the clear winning company in that field. So think about that. What can you make consistent in your business? How can you increase that experience? And how can you make it a win-win for not only you, but your clients moving forward? Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening to the Content Amplification Podcast. If you have questions about how you can amplify your content strategy, go to amplifymycontent.com.